Being prepared for any crisis is important, but recently I discovered a threat to our freedom and families that is so real and possible that what I learned literally blew me away. As a California resident, I realized I was even more vulnerable than most U.S. citizens. Here I was thinking that all I had to worry about was a major earthquake or a tsunami. Then my eyes were opened. I'll tell you what this Uber threat is and what you can do to protect yourself from this immediate threat today. So, what I'm talking about is our power grid. Yes, our power grid. Are you surprised? Let me tell you in 2 minutes what I learned about this real threat, and then let me tell you what I did about it. Like me, after hearing this, you might just realize that you're not as prepared for a crisis as you thought you were. So, lose your power for several hours, right? And guess what? No lights, no fridge, no air conditioning, no heat, no running water, they require pumps, no communication devices, no computers, tablets, or cell phones, no radios. You're temporarily isolated, cut off from family and friends. An inconvenience maybe, but not really the end of the world, right? Grab a flashlight, make a sandwich, you're good to go. But what if you lose power from your regional grid for over a week? What would you see then? How about panic-stricken people who would clear the store shelves of merchandise, traffic lights that would be broken and create traffic chaos, schools that would be closed, gas stations that would run out of gas due to a local panic and fuel demand, law enforcement that would be overwhelmed, life-saving equipment that would stop working in homes, banks that would close and ATMs that would stop working, credit cards that cease to work. It would be local chaos, and you and I would be right in the middle of it. You're isolated, cut off from family and friends, and things could become much more complicated. Just stop for a minute and think about it. Look around you. Are you prepared for this type of emergency? Is anyone you know prepared for this? Experts agree this threat is real and it can happen tomorrow without warning. But don't just take my word for it. According to Inside Energy's website, between 2000 and 2014, the number of reported power outages have doubled every 5 years. From 2000 to 2004, there were an average of 44 reported grid outages per year. And from 2005 to 2009, there were an average of 100 reported grid outages per year. From 2010 to 2013, a 4-year period, there were an average of 200 reported outages per year. I asked, why is this happening? Well, for starters, an aging infrastructure combined with a growing population and more frequent extreme weather are straining our electric grid. So it's obvious that we're seeing an increase in short-term outages. But what about major threats that can affect larger areas of the grid for longer periods of time, or even the entire grid for that matter? These are the threats that I am more concerned about. As I researched this more, I learned that the top 3 major threats to our power grid are terrorism, electromagnetic pulse, EMP, and cyber attacks. The threat of terrorism to our power grid is real, and it's already happened here in California. Just recently, snipers opened fire on an electrical substation supporting the power grid near Silicon Valley.
And an update on a story we brought you yesterday. A top former energy official claims an attack on an American power grid was terrorism. 1 or more snipers opened fire in April, knocking out 17 transformers that send power to California's Silicon Valley.
It took utility workers 27 days to make repairs and successfully reactivate the substation. John Wellinghoff, former chairman of the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission, called the incident the most significant incident of domestic terrorism involving the grid that has ever occurred. Veteran news anchor Ted Koppel writes about this exact scenario in his best-selling book, Lights Out. He describes in great detail how attacks on America's grid aren't just likely, they're already happening, and how the feds are shockingly unprepared. So why aren't we more prepared for these types of emergencies? Well, for starters, it takes more than a year to manufacture a new transformer, and they aren't interchangeable. The country has roughly 2,000 very large transformers, and they are expensive to build. They often cost millions of dollars each, and each can weigh up to 500,000 pounds. Can you imagine how long it would take to restore power to the grid after a major terrorist attack? So what about cyber attacks? Yes, the computers and the hackers that work on them. This is one threat that actually increases marginally every single day as technology expands. As the grid becomes more network friendly, it becomes more of a target, and the impact of an attack widens. This is exactly what recently happened in the Ukraine. The power grid was hit by a very clever and well-engineered malware called Black Energy. The Ukraine cyber attack caused substations to be disconnected from their main power grid, causing over 700,000 homes to lose power. The attack was so powerful that it even took out the backup systems designed to restore power to the grid. I discovered that this type of cyber attack is not just happening in far-off locations. It's happening here in the good old US of A. A Freedom of Information Act request recently revealed that hackers successfully compromised the Department of Energy's computer systems more than 150 times from 2010 to 2014. Republican Representative Lamar Smith, chairman of the House Science Committee, recently told the DCNF, if just one major city were attacked in this way, the economic and societal consequences would be devastating. I also learned that Frank Gaffney, the founder of the Center for Security Policy, has openly warned, should the power go out and stay out for over a year, 9 out of 10 Americans would likely perish. And here's a frightening quote from Dr. Richard Andres from the U.S. National War College. A massive and well-coordinated cyber attack on the electrical grid could devastate the economy and cause a large-scale loss of life. And according to a recent survey by Political.com, more than a dozen utilities said they constantly, sometimes on a daily basis, face attempted cyber attacks. One utility said it was the target of about 10,000 cyber attacks each month, according to the report. I also learned that the last of the three threats, an electromagnetic pulse, which is a super energetic radio wave that can destroy or damage electronic systems by overloading their circuits, can be catastrophic to our critical infrastructure. I discovered that as a country, we are totally unprepared for this type of event. In fact, it is estimated that within 12 months of an EMP event, 2/3 to 90% of the U.S. population would likely perish from starvation, disease, and societal breakdown. But how can this happen? Well, just for starters, our own sun can generate a solar flare large enough to cause a major catastrophe on Earth, and it's happened before. In fact, on average, these natural occurrences happen every 150 years, and the last major storm was recorded 155 years ago. Researchers estimate that a similar event today would cost $600 billion to $2.6 trillion in damages to the United States alone. The threat of nuclear war is real, but people don't realize that just one nuclear weapon detonated at high altitude will generate an electromagnetic pulse that can take out the power grid across the entire U.S. The nuclear EMP threat is not merely theoretical. It's real, a clear and present danger. Okay, so now you're probably thinking, what can I do today to take care of myself and my family if any one of these events takes place? If you're like me, you're probably thinking that you need some sort of backup generator, right? This would make the most logical sense. But did you know that most gas generators can use up to 10 gallons of gasoline a day? And aside from the cost of fuel, in any of the emergency situations we just discussed, gas for a generator would be out of the question and most likely not available. How could you use a gas generator from the inside of your house anyway? It's highly probable that a noisy gas generator would be an easy target by those not so friendly and less prepared than you are. So how do you make sure that your family has electricity? How do you keep them warm and ensure that they have food? How do you keep your freezer running, power your cell phones, computers, radios, and electric blankets, or keep a CPAP or medical device operating? I discovered a power source so reliable that you can operate it from within the confines of your home. It will provide you with ample power to meet your needs, and it's free and totally natural to operate. So is this space-age technology? Well, in a sense it is, and thanks to the latest engineering marvels, it is now available to you. A friend of mine works directly with an engineering team and called me about this last month. I was blown away. So what is it? It's the sun, but with a twist. It's a completely portable solar-powered generator that you can take with you wherever you go, and you can even operate it indoors. Now, I'm not talking about big solar panels you or your neighbors might have on their house. I'm talking about a portable solar generator that's capable of storing enough energy to satisfy all your needs in any emergency. A unit you can even throw in the back of your car if you need to get out of town quickly, solar panels and all. After purchasing a unit for myself, I also purchased the expansion pack, which gives me over twice the power, and I purchased the optional EMP bag that safeguards my unit against any effect of an EMP event. The company manufacturing this technology is one of the solar industry's largest innovators and technology leaders. I was so impressed that I asked them if they would create a special offer just for me that I could share exclusively with my friends and family, and here it is. The FTB50 solar generator. It's everything you need for any off-grid situation. Without getting too technical, here are some of the highlights of the FTB50 solar generator. It uses a lithium-based 12-volt DC with a 50 amp per hour, 600 watt per hour capacity. It has output ports for two 110 to 220 volt wall plugs, 4 USB outlets, each capable of 3 amps at 5 volt DC, and a 12 volt cigarette lighter adapter. The FTB Solar 50 generator comes with fold-out 100 watt folding 12 volt portable solar panel, and you can add more if you like anytime. Not only are the solar panels expandable by daisy chaining them together with the FTB Solar 50 generator, this is also one of the only solar generators in the industry that offers an expansion power pack that more than doubles the capacity of both electrical production and storage. If you need more power, you simply daisy chain additional expansion packs. I know that we cannot predict the future, and I don't know when the next power grid disaster will hit, but I know that I am prepared in the event that something does happen. And right now, you can get your very own FTB Solar 50 generator at the discount that I have worked out with the manufacturer for a limited time. Speaking of the manufacturer, this is a big company with a great reputation. I personally went to Salt Lake City and toured their facilities. They are the real deal, and they have been working in the solar space for many years. Their facilities are hazmat certified, and they ship all their generators in packaging that ensures your generator will arrive safe and sound. When purchasing anything of this magnitude, and especially online, it's important to have a guarantee. I was blown away by this company's full money-back guarantee. For the first 12 months, yes, that's a full 365 days. If for any reason you are not satisfied with your purchase, you simply return the generator and receive a full money-back refund. This means there's absolutely no risk to you. Not only that, the company backs every FTB Solar 50 generator, solar panel, and accessory with a full 1-year parts and labor warranty. Click Add to Shopping Cart to order now. Your order is secure, and your FTB Solar 50 generator will be shipped out immediately. Imagine how it will feel knowing that you were prepared for any emergency. Oh, and one other thing. Setting up your new FTB Solar 50 generator is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Right out of the box, and anyone can do it. When the box arrives in the mail, open up your solar panels and face them to the sun. Plug in the cord from your solar panels to your new FTB Solar 50 generator and click on the power button. That's it. You're making your own energy from the sun. So let's recap what you get. You get one FTB Solar 50 generator, two 100-watt folding 12-volt solar panels that fold into an easy-to-use carry case, one 25-foot expandable cable, free shipping to anywhere in the U.S., 1 year full money-back guarantee, 1 year manufacturer's warranty. You will also have access to a toll-free customer support number directly to the manufacturer's support team.